Awesome. And we are live. Hey guys, how are you? Listen, guys, do not have me sitting here talking and you weren't there or you're not there, you're not saying anything. Say hello, say hello, say hello in the chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm sitting over here. I'm outside. You guys can hear it. We're in nature. We're communing with nature one on one. Do you guys hear those noises? I'm probably not going to be long because these noises are super loud. But I'm on my deck and it is hot and muggy. And I'm thinking it would be great to have some music, right? But Facebook, us tripping, right? Even though I said I didn't have the rights to the music, they got blocked my video. So listen, I don't know. I want to have some music, but maybe I could sing for you. Y'all don't want me to sing. Y'all do not want me to sing, okay? But listen, we're gonna still have fun today. All right, we're gonna have some fun. The song in my head, man to man, it's so unjust. Children, we don't know who to trust. Come back and listen to me sing. Your worst enemy can be your best friend, and your best friend, your worst enemy. The man Bob, he was preaching, he was preaching. Some will eat and drink with you, and then behind them, susu on you. Americans, if you don't know what susu means, it means they're talking in behind your back. Only your best friend know your secret, and it's only he who can reveal it. And who the cap fit? Let them wear it. Listen, I try to make sure that I share facts, I share information that you guys can depend on and that you can trust. All right. So, the last couple of weeks, we have been talking about steps to financial stability. We talked about understanding why financial literacy is important because we need to understand how money works in order to make money work for us. Otherwise, we have it sitting there being lazy, being unemployed, doing nothing for us. We have to make money in our sleep. Warren Buffett told us that. Then the next week, we talked about protection and making sure that we are protected. That's um, the foundation of financial stability is being protected, protecting your income, protecting your future. After that, we talked about um, a trust, a wills and trust. How we protect how we speak from the grave, how we make sure that what we want to happen happens. Then the next week, last week we talked about emergency funds, right? Because there are just certain things that you have to do, right? And many people might tell you to do it in different ways. Some may say this comes first, that comes second, whatever. I'm gonna tell you right now, it does not matter. You just got to do something. We just got to do something. We just got to start, okay? And although I would say that the number one thing is making sure you protect your income, and every single day we see that that is the number one thing to do because you never know what will happen. I mean, you out at the parade with your children and people are shooting you down. It's crazy that this is the world we live in, but we have to put things in place for the in case sugar honey iced tea happens. You know what I mean? We just got to do that. Now, I saw it was so heartbreaking that 2-year-old child will never know his mom and dad. Because he lost both his mom and dad, but they set up a GoFundMe for him, and it has raised over $2 million. Now, I think that is super awesome, but sometimes everybody's not lucky like that. Everybody's not lucky like that. Especially, we put up something we might be lucky if we get $2,000, much less $2 million. But guess what? We can, what the heck is this thing supposed to be? I don't know. I don't even understand how it works. Okay, here we go. Is it matching? I don't know. I don't care. What we talking about right now is more important than how this is supposed to be. But then, I don't know. I can't tell. which is right from left. Anyway, here we go. So, yeah, but so we have to do something to make sure that, God forbid, we do not make it home. How does our children continue, right? How does our children continue? And even if your children are grown, how your grandchildren continue, or whatever. So we talked about that. We talked about emergency funds today. Uh, in addition to my singing, all right. In addition to my singing, we're talking about debt management. Well, I want to talk a little bit about debt management and cash flow, right? So, over 80% of Americans are in debt today. 80% of all Americans are in debt today. And over half of all Americans own a credit card. And the average credit card debt is about $8,000, $9,000. It's probably more now since the pandemic. But so how do we get out of debt? Do we try to buy some lottery tickets and see if we can win the lottery? Do we wait around for a miracle to happen? How do we get out of debt? The problem is it's our responsibility, and we have to face debt head on, right? So today I'm going to talk to you about 5 things that we can do to try to eliminate or reduce debt. Now, these are just some basic things. There's some other strategies that you've heard me talk about before. You've heard me and my girls talk about it on the Millionaire Mobs on Thursday nights. There's some other things. There are actually some things that you can do to get out of debt, save, to eliminate debt, to save, to build wealth, all together. You have your emergency fund, have your college fund, all those things we can do all at one time. All right. But today I'm talking about some basic things, even if you don't believe that you can do some of the other strategies we're talking about. But number one is to know what you owe. You need to make a list of all your credit card debts and your loans, write them down. You want to write down the outstanding balance. You want to write down the interest rate. You want to write down the monthly payment and the monthly date that it's due, the monthly due date that is for each one of them. All right. So we can't know where we're going if we don't know where we are. We have to establish and figure out where we want to go. So write all your debts down. And the second thing to do with that is at least once a year, pull your credit report, right? And freeannualcreditreport.com. And I'm not telling you to just rely on what's on Credit Karma. Go there. We all have a right to pull our credit credit report once a year for free from several different places. But you can find some pretty um, free online ones that you can depend on. You got to make sure that it's accurate. There are lots of things that's on our credit report that brings down our score, and we don't realize old addresses and things like that that shouldn't be on there. Make sure that those are removed. Okay. And whenever you're doing anything with your credit card, do it in writing. Do it in writing and send it into them. Yes, they have made it easier for you to go do it online, but there's certain things that you want to do and write, especially when you're disputing something. You want to do it in writing, mail it. There's laws that protect us within times that they must respond to do certain things. And if they don't do it, then they have to remove it. So you want to use those laws to help to protect you. But check your credit report. There's things on there that might not even be yours. They've mixed up. I know some people a name with their mom or their dad. They have the same name, and their debts get mixed up. So they're human beings that input that information. So you want to make sure that all of that is correct. Tip two. Number two is no more late payments. Right? We said we would write down all our debts, how much it was, and the date, the balances, and the date it was due. Now that we know when payments are due, write it up so that there's no more late payments, because late payments, number one, they get reported to on your thing, and bring your on your credit report and bring your score down. And but so you want to make that hurt, and that will hurt your credit not to mention it accrues late fees. If something happens and by mistake you didn't do it, you were trying to rely on your brain and you didn't remember, call them. A lot of times they will take off that late fee if you're calling them right within that day or two or something like that. But we can prevent that from happening by making sure that we sign up for automatic payments. Or if you don't like people in your account pulling out money, just set some alarms on your phone. We have powerful phones now that we're able to set some alarms to let us remember, oh, I need to make this payment, 2 days before the due date, or so that it reminds you so that you can get it out. All right. Number three, target one debt at a time. All right. And, sometimes, whatever it is, right? You can decide you want to choose the smallest credit card or the one with the highest interest or something like that, and try to pay that down. Now, I sit with people every day and I show them how to not pay more than the minimum payment and use that money someplace else in a program where it will work for you and gain more interest rather than you just sending it out the door. Gain compound interest in a positive way rather than you just sending it out of the door. And now that that money is working for you, you can then take that money and clear that debt. Uh, and when I'm talking about debts, a lot of the ones that I'm talking about is bad debt. We want to get rid of bad debt first, right? So all those credit cards and things like that, we are trying to get that down. Okay, so you can take either the smallest balance or the one with the highest interest or whatever, and start to pay that down faithfully. Pay more of it, pay down faithfully. um, Once you've done that, right? Once you've done that, you can now um, go to the next debt. And whatever you were paying on the first debt, let's say that you were paying $100 on the first debt, that debt is now retired. Now you have $100 to roll to the next debt, right? You're gonna roll the $100 to the next debt. So even if while you were paying the first debt, you were paying $100 on this one, you were paying 500. Now you're gonna pay 600 on this one to get it down. Now I know you've heard me talk before that we 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 can show you how to get out of debt in 9 years or less by not taking your money and putting it into and just sending it out the door without letting that money work for you. But this doesn't work for everybody, right? It doesn't work for everybody because you might be stretching to the limit. But I'll show you what you can do so that it can work for you. Because once you understand the power behind what it is that we teach you to do with your money, you will be out of debt and start to grow wealth a lot faster than you can do it on your own. What's another thing? I always say, do what the wealthy people do. And the wealthy people, they don't try to do it on their own. They enlist help of financial services people to help them. All right. So you are going to pay that down and then roll that into the next one. You might have heard people refer to it as the snowball method because as you keep clearing up that and you move it into another into the next debt, that snowball starts to pick up more and more, and it becomes to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and now it can eliminate things, it can knock things out of the way, and that's what we want to do. And what I do is actually call, it's like the snowball method, but it's like the snowball method on steroids. So if you have been trying to pay off all your debts and you have been putting extra money on every single one of them, and it doesn't seem like nothing is happening, you want to have a chat. You want to let us sit down and chat. If it's just where you're not doing that, but you're just trying to take one at a time, or you're trying to pay one on this one on that one. Let's talk and let's see what is the best strategy for you. But you want to target those debts one at a time. But let's talk. It's free to talk to me. It's free to talk to me. It's free for us to look at it and see what strategies are available and what's the best thing for you to do. Carmen10k.com. schedule. You can get on my calendar. You can text me. You can call me. Any of those things, so that we can talk. Next, stop charging and cancel all on you subscriptions. Right? You have a whole bunch of subscriptions to different things, whether it's Netflix, whether it's Hulu, whether it's, many of us have several different things that we're paying for. Get rid of them, because most of us are not even using them. And how many times have you sat down and looked at Netflix and go, "Wow, I don't want to look at that. I don't want to look." You're not looking at anything. The time you spend looking for something to look at, and then you give up. Get rid of those things, right? Or keep just one or something like that. But, and then stop charging. It doesn't make any sense to clear the credit card and then you go charge again. And it's not just stop charging. I stop charging is basic, is what I would say for basic people. For when it's not basic people, for if you do not understand how to make this work for you, because you can charge and you can use your credit card for certain things that will enable you to get all of those rewards and things like that, but you are not going to carry a balance. You are going to pay it off before the due date. You are going to pay it off within that 30-day cycle, or 27, or whatever day cycle it is. You are going to pay it off. You're not going to charge any. When I say stop charging anything, I mean stop buying anything on a credit card that you can't pay for, that you cannot afford to pay for. That's a better way to say it. Stop buying anything on a credit card that you cannot afford to pay for in the next 30 days, right? And it's not robbing Peter to pay Paul, like, okay, when I get this in, I'm going to do it. But if you had planned for it and you knew that you were going to buy some tickets to, a concert, or you're going to buy take a flight somewhere, and you can purchase it on your credit card so that you can get those rewards, and then you are going to pay it back with your checking account, so that it does not accumulate compounded interest on the other side that we don't want to happen, right? So when I say stop charging, that's what I mean. And when I say cancel all subscriptions, I mean all those things that you do not use, right? Apple Music, um, what's the other music things? YouTube, all these different, cancel them, all right? Now, doing that by paying everything on time with the market the way it is, you might also be able to, you know, refinance your mortgage to um, whatever it is. But you want a financial professional, but maybe to bring down the interest rate. Make sure you are reading. Make sure that just to get that lower rate, you're not paying some higher um, cost. What's going on? Everything just went blank. I think I'm still live. Anyway, so when we're talking about interest rate, remember when we're talking about interest rate, it's not just interest rate. We want to look at interest cost as well. Does it even make sense? Now, I know you guys heard me say this before. Sometimes, well, not sometimes, but I've heard my mom say when I was growing up, you cannot get blood from a stone. And sometimes, in order to get rid of all those debts, in order to put more money toward your future, toward retirement, um, we have to increase cash flow. We have to increase cash flow. Cash flow just basically means the money that's available to spend, right? The money that you have available to spend or to save. And you can only do two things with money: either spend it or save it. That's it. Spend or save. So the money that's available for those things. So after we already talked about establishing your 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 protection, protecting your income, and things like that. And we talked about emergency fund. We also talked a little bit about a debt strategy. we are realizing, this is not going to work. I need to increase cash flow, right? So remember, one of the best things to do is to create and stick to your budget. Create and stick to your budget. Weighing your income versus your expenses. Develop a written game plan for how you're gonna spend less than you earn. How your budget should be budgeted all the way down to zero in the last line, but it shouldn't be every single thing that you earn is everything that you spend. But everything single thing that you earn should equal everything that you spend and save. So that's the reason why it gets budgeted down to zero. So you're going to develop a written game plan to make sure that you're spending less than you earn. Some people just try, like, I'm just going to live on three-quarters of what I make. Even if you have to start it at 80 or 90%, it means taking some quick action and cutting out some things and living on less than you make. All right. Raise the deductibles on your auto, on your car, on your homeowners insurance. Raise the deductibles on those. People will say, well, I don't want, if I get in an accident, I don't want to have to pay $1,000. Well, when last did you get in an accident where it was your fault and you had to pay $1,000? Raise the deductible, put that to savings, and if you do get in an accident, you can attack it. You can get it from there, from your emergency fund. But raise the deductible. Many of you have had your deductibles, car deductible at $500, and have been paying that for so many years and you haven't gotten in an accident. So raise the deductibles. That's going to bring you some additional dollars that you can put someplace else, right? So reposition money that's currently sitting in like low interest savings account. Try to see what else we can do with that in order to earn on that. You can save your money in other vehicles other than a low interest savings account. Okay. Um, Private mortgage, PMI on your home, drop it. As soon as you get to 20%, they're not going to remind you. They're not going to send you something and remind you, hey, this is a way for you to save money. You have now 20% equity in your home. You can drop PMI. They're not going to remind you. You need to check for yourself and drop PMI as soon as that home equity reaches 20% of your home value, right? So how do you increase cash flow? I got a couple of things for you. So number one, get a side gig. Get a side gig, right? Earning additional income is almost always the quickest way to reach your financial goals than just trying to spend less, right? Um, 45% of American workers have a side gig earning over $1,200 a month. All right. So there's so many ways that you can earn income. They are, whether it's whether it's these health products that you do not have to source. You just have a link and it's affiliate market, and there you go. And people just go to the website and earn. Find something like that. There's several of them that I have, and next week I think I'm gonna each day I'm gonna post one of the different things, ways that you can earn money without even coming out of your pocket. Some of them you do, little or none come out of your pocket, and then have it start just putting money back into your thing. So get a side gig. Number two, start a business. Start a business. And starting a business doesn't necessarily have to be all that hard. You can, what I do, you can do what I do. You can do what I do. And it is a business that you are working for yourself, and you can possibly grow that to where you make that your full-time income. And you guys know you can reach out to me, and I even help you to get certified, to get licensed, without any cost for your pre-license course. No cost to you. It's a very it's a very quick way of getting into a business, getting certified, getting licensed. No cost for training. You don't have to worry about inventory. and things like that, reach out to me and see how you can start a business or something like that. Another thing, guys, and this, I want you to make sure you talk to a tax person, talk to your tax professional, give me a call, give anybody else that you know is a tax professional a call. But if you get a large tax refund at the end of the year, you need to adjust your W two. Your W two allowances. You need to adjust that because the what you're doing is you're giving the government a loan on your dime for no money, for no cost. You are giving the government a no cost loan, so you want to adjust that. Speak to someone and make sure. But if you do get a large refund, adjust that so that you get your money up front. You can put that money to work for you, and and tell Uncle Sam find his money from some other sucker out there. It ain't gonna be you. All right. So those are the things I wanted to talk to you about today. Um, I can be reached at carmen10k.com. If this is something that resonated with you, reach out to me. Let's talk. If not, just send it on. You know, share the live. Give it so someone else can use this information. And remember, who the cap fit, let them wear it. I know I can't sing. I don't care. I'm happy anyway. Who the cap fit, let them wear it. I said, throw my corn. Me not call no foul, call no foul. I say, toot, 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 toot. Dut, dut, dut. I don't know if it says that, but whatever. All right, guys. See you next Wednesday. Remember to join us tomorrow, Thursday night, on the Millionaire Ladies Mob, Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Thanks again for joining me. You could have been anywhere else, but you are here, even if it was for a few minutes. Thanks and bye.